We spend so much time at the grocery store trying to pick out the healthiest foods. But what if I told you the single most important nutritional decision you make actually happens after you get all that good stuff home? Let's get into it.
So let me ask you a simple question. Is spinach healthy? I mean, of course it is, right? It's green, it's leafy. Popeye practically built a career on it. It seems like the easiest question in the world. But what if it's the wrong question to be asking in the first place? And this right here is exactly what I'm talking about. You're looking at the same exact vegetable, spinach, but depending on how you cook it, you get a totally different nutritional result. If you steam it, awesome, you keep most of the vitamins. If you boil it to death and pour the water down the drain, well, not so good. But here's the twist. If you saute it with a little oil, you can actually absorb certain vitamins and minerals better. The food is only half the story. So this is the big idea, the main takeaway for today. The cooking method you choose can be even more important than the food you start with. And this isn't just some clever kitchen tip. Nope, this is a fundamental principle of nutrition that can honestly change everything about how you think about eating healthy. Okay, so to really get why this is, we need a simple way to think about it. It turns out pretty much every cooking method out there, whether it's boiling an egg or making a fancy stir fry, is really just a mix of three basic things: heat, water, and fat. If you understand these three forces, you can unlock so much more nutrition from your food. Let's break them down. Heat, well, it can be your best friend or your worst enemy. Water is super efficient, but you'll see it can be a bit of a nutrient thief. And fat, turns out it's not the villain we all thought it was. In fact, it's more like an essential delivery truck for certain nutrients. Let's start with water. We're going to start with water because it's the one we use all the time, and it's maybe the most misunderstood. Whenever we boil our food, we're actually creating a perfect scenario for losing a ton of nutrients. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Throwing vegetable water is like throwing vitamins. That cloudy green water you pour down the sink after boiling broccoli, that's not just water anymore. It's basically a soup of all the good stuff that just escaped from your food. There's a scientific name for this, and it's called leaching. Think about it. Certain vitamins, especially vitamin C and all those B vitamins, are water-soluble. That means they dissolve in water, just like sugar. So when you put your veggies in a hot bath, those vitamins literally pack their bags and move out of the food and into the water. If you dump that water, you're dumping the vitamins right along with it. Just how bad can it get? Well, studies have shown that boiling can wipe out up to 38% of a vegetable's vitamin C. That's more than a third of one of the most important vitamins gone, just vanished down the drain before it ever had a chance to get to your plate, all because of how it was cooked. So, what's the solution? Well, check out this comparison. It's so simple. With boiling, the food is swimming in water, and the vitamins are escaping. But with steaming, the food is being cooked by hot steam. It never actually touches the bulk of the water. So those water-soluble vitamins, they have nowhere to go. They stay put, right inside your food where they belong. It's such a small change in method, but it has a huge nutritional impact. Okay, so we've seen how water can be a problem. Now let's talk about the other two forces, heat and fat. These two often work together, and it's kind of a delicate balancing act. They do more than just make food taste amazing. They play this really critical and sometimes pretty surprising role in our nutrition. This is one of my favorite examples, the paradox of heat. We have this idea that raw is always better, but that's just not true. Take a tomato. When it's raw, a powerful antioxidant called lycopene is basically locked up inside these tough little plant cell walls. Your body has a hard time getting to it. But when you apply heat, when you cook the tomato, it breaks down those walls, and suddenly, boom, way more of that lycopene is available for your body to actually use. So in this case, cooking isn't destroying nutrition, it's unlocking it. And what about fat? Oh man, for decades, fat was public enemy number one. But now we know it's an absolutely essential partner for nutrition. You see, some of the most important vitamins, we're talking A, D, E, and K, are fat-soluble. That means your body literally cannot absorb them unless there's some fat around. So that little bit of olive oil you use to saute your spinach, it's not just for flavor. It's the delivery truck that carries vitamin A from the spinach straight into your system. All right, so we've gone through the science of heat, water, and fat. Now for the best part. Let's turn all this knowledge into a super practical, easy-to-use playbook for your own kitchen. I promise this is way simpler than it sounds. Think of this chart as your new kitchen cheat sheet. Right at the very top, the absolute champion for nutrient retention is steaming. Why? No direct contact with water, so the vitamins stay put. Right behind it, and this might surprise you, is microwaving. Yep. The super short cooking time and tiny amount of water needed makes it fantastic for keeping nutrients locked in. Sautéing and stir-frying are also great choices. Then you've got roasting, which is pretty good for minerals, but can lose some B vitamins. And way down at the bottom, our old friend, boiling, which, as we know, can cause some serious nutrient loss. Now, if that whole chart is a bit much to take in, no worries. Just remember these 3 golden rules. Rule number 1, use as little water as you can get away with. Rule number 2, keep your cooking times as short as possible. And rule number 3, if you absolutely have to boil something, don't throw that water away. Be smart. Use that liquid gold in a soup or a sauce to get all those escaped vitamins back. And look, this isn't just some clever idea from a cooking show. This is actually at the very heart of the latest thinking in nutrition science. It's a core principle of the official 2025-2030 dietary guidelines for Americans. Their big message is all about focusing on real food, yeah, but also on preparing it well. So when you choose to steam your broccoli instead of boiling it, you are literally aligning your own kitchen with the cutting edge of nutritional science. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Cooking isn't just something you do to make food taste better or safer to eat. It's the final and maybe the most critical ingredient in your nutrition. So the next time you're about to cook something, don't just ask yourself, what food am I choosing? Ask yourself, what outcome am I choosing? Because that power is completely in your hands.